Welcome to the Cuddle Cinema. My name is Aaron, and with this guy up here being on everybody's mind right now, Mr. Art the Clown, I thought it'd be interesting to talk about another uh, name in horror, especially in this type of kind of the more entertainingly gory horror. See, I was watching Dan Murrow's reviews on Terrifier 1, 2, and 3, and he was not a massive fan of them. One thing he did say, though, really rung true to me and stuck in my head, and that was that even if Damien Leone had never made a Terrifier film, his practical effects work is so great in all of these films that he thinks that much like Tom Savini, much like Screaming Mad George, he would have always been a big name in the world of horror. So with that being said, I want to look at another guy that actually produced a bunch of films, directed, I think 18 or 19 films. We're going to look at a couple of those tonight and take a quick look into one of my favorite guys when I think of like disturbing gore sequences and extremely fun films. One name comes to mind for me, like a lot quicker than many others. Of course, Damien, your name comes to mind, but so does the wonderful Brian Yuzna. Here today in the Cult of Cinema, we're looking at Brian Yuzna. Born in the Philippines, in Manila to be precise, Brian Yuzna is a name that we hear a lot alongside director Stuart Gordon. In actuality, he got his career started with him and Gordon working together, where Gordon would direct and he'd produce a lot of those films, a lot of body horror style films. Before he would go out and make his first film on his own in 1989, well, one that you would direct his first film anyway, and that one would be this film right here, and I'm actually super stoked that I have this edition of it, so it's a bit of a flex too. Society. If you have not seen this, I will tell you right now, it is it's definitely a gross film with some really really cool whacked out sequences in it. Billy Warlock, soap star Billy Warlock plays a teen that doesn't quite fit in with his rich affluent family, and something just seems really really off, and it really is. And what's really cool about this edition right here is it came out from Arrow Video. It was a limited edition, and they had planned, I think, at one point to make a sequel to Society, like a film. So that was never made. However, a Society Party Animal is the actual official sequel to Society, and it is a comic book, and it's all here. If you've never heard of the shunting, so if you've never heard of the shunt, oh, you're in for a treat. If you're liking stuff like the Terrifier stuff, and you don't mind some of the more ghastly aspects to it, Society is definitely a film right up your alley. This is a wonderfully done film. This edition itself is out of print. However, if you can find this online or at a thrift shop or on eBay or something like that, it's definitely worth the buy. It is a great release, and I love me some Society, especially when it includes the comic book sequel as well. So there you go. Are you ready for the shunting? After making the incredibly uniquely original Society, Brian Yuzna actually went off and did a couple kind of cool and unique sequels. In 1990, September 1990, he made Bride of ReAnimator, the sequel to Stuart Gordon's ReAnimator. This is the Arrow edition of this one, and again, flex time, because this is the limited edition version of this one. And much like Society, they gave us the goods and put in, along with this, the ReAnimator Dawn of ReAnimator comic book. So a lot of fun. This one was a black and white one because, again, it's gory and bloody and has all the stuff in it that you shouldn't show to little kiddies. So just such a great film, a lot of fun, and as a sequel, I think it's actually a pretty damn good one. Then he would do a sequel just a month later that would be a lot more, a lot more divisive. And for me, a lot of fun. A lot of people hate on this movie. A lot of people really hate this film. But I have to say, when this came out, you guys know I'm a Christmas horror person. Obviously, Terrifier 3 is a Christmas horror film. And I like Christmas horror. I like Christmas horror even more if it's going to put in some really neat, cool stuff. And he delivers here because he made Silent Night, Deadly Night 4, the initiation, with a ton of fantastic actors in here, including the one from Matt Adams. It's a trippy film. There's a finger sequence, which is kind of cool. Clint Howard is in this one, and he plays the titular character that is throughout the film. So that's kind of cool. Because yeah, he plays Ricky. But is it the same Ricky? Maybe, maybe not. Bill Moseley played in part three. But it's really, really cool films. I really enjoyed Silent Night, Night, the Initiation. Was it Christmas like? Not really. Was it a mind warp, insane film by Brian Yuzna that only he can do? Yes, yes, it is. And with that being said, the next one that he would put out would be a sequel. It would be in 1993, and it would be a stone cold classic. October 29th of 1993, 2 days before Halloween, we would get one of the great treats from Brian Yuzna, and it is the incredible Return of the Living Dead 3. It's actually, aside from the original, it's my favorite Return of the Living Dead. I like it much better than Part 2. I think this is absolutely fantastic. With the sexiest zombie that ever lived, Miss Melinda Clark. How can you not? I'm sorry, zombie or not, how can you not fall in love with Miss Melinda Clark? She is just absolutely stunning in this film, and she is extremely likable. Think zombies meet Romeo and Juliet, the tragic star-crossed like lover story, and actually Anthony Hickox, the director Anthony Hickox himself, who does a lot of really cool stuff himself, plays a scientist at the I think at the beginning of this film. He gets killed early on, but it's a neat little cameo. This is a lot of fun. If you haven't seen this one, make sure that this is on your October watches because it is a really good film, and it is kind of a Halloween film. It came out around Halloween, so there you go. Return of the Living Dead 3, just an incredible film by Brian Yuzna. Now for the actual reason that I end up making this video tonight. See, in 1996 and 1998, aside from Society and the sequels that we'd seen before, Yuzna would direct two films that I absolutely adore and that make me wince so much. So if you've been, going back and watching your Terrifier films and want to get that kind of like wincing aspect, that kind of like, oh, I got to look away for a second, or maybe, or in my case, because of the use of sound in the film, I had to take out my headphones for a sec. Uh, he made these wonderful films here with Corbin Burnson, The Dentist and The Dentist 2. In 1996, The Dentist came out. It was a ton of fun. Corbin Burnson plays a dentist that is having a very, very bad day. It starts out with finding out that his wife is cheating on them on their anniversary, and it starts to snowball and get worse from there. And he snaps. And yes, when you think of the horror of going to the dentist, if that's something that you don't like, if that's something that you find some fear in, then this is not going to take away any of that fear. It's actually a really well done film, and the special effects in this utterly fantastic. Just a couple years later, he would come out with The Dentist 2, which I equally enjoy. I think it's a lot of fun. It would reunite him with Clint Howard, who was in Silent Night, Deadly Night 4, and who actually have a decent role in this one here as well. There was a few like decent actors when it came to both of these films. In part two, they did tend to like stunt cast a little bit more, because we've got like Roby in here, and we've got Clint Howard. Lynn Hoffman from the first one comes back, and it makes sense that she comes back because she's the one that has to deal with so much pain in the original. So if you have not seen it, I'm going to tell you right now, I recommend this film so much. It is such a really cool, really fun film. Well, both these films actually are really fun. I just sat down and watched both of them, and I did. I'm not gonna lie. There's a couple times where I peeked through fingers and I slightly took off my headphones when those drilling sounds just got to be a bit too much. The Dentist Collection was a wonderful series of films put up by a Vestron Video. There was two. There was talks of a third one. That one, as far as I know, isn't being done. However, when I checked on Brian Yuzna's IMDb page, it did say that there was something in production, something upcoming, and that was The Plastic Surgeon, starring, again, Corbin Burnson. Here's just a few of Brian Yuzna's incredible works. What else has Brian Yuzna done that you may or may not have heard of? Well, let's find out. Yes, he actually did work on Tarzan, The Epic Adventures, which was one of my favorite Tarzan series, probably next to the Ron Ely one, which is my absolute favorite. Necronomicon is the movie that I keep hoping some company is going to rescue and put out on a very special edition set. Second Sight, I'm looking at you because I think you guys could do a wonderful job with that. Brian Yuzna made a ton of things, not just as a director, but as a producer as well. He actually uh, worked on and co-wrote Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. Yeah, he did. He did so much in his actual filmography over the years. The Guyver was a film that it was worked on by him. Crying Freeman was another one that he worked on as a producer. He Faust, Love the Damned. He actually directed, and it's kind of based off of a comic. And I dig that one. Not a lot of people do, but it's part of the Fantastic Factory series, which I'll talk about on here one of these days. And of course, Beyond Reanimator as well, where he both directed and produced and kind of like co-produced that one. And there's a few that I still have to see. He actually even executive produced one that a lot of you Vinegar Syndrome fans probably love, and that's a movie called Ticks, which as you can just if you've seen the movie, then you know it's right up Brian Yuzna's alley in the style that it is, and of course the absolutely fantastic Warlock too. He did the executive producing work on that. I just want to give a kind of a big shout out to Brian Yuzna, and it's nice to see a guy like Damien Leone kind of making it big and like breaking into that mainstream kind of cultural zeitgeist. And he did give me those vibes of a Brian Yuzna. So we'll see if he keeps along those lines and maybe partners up the right people, finds his own Stuart Gordon, and we see things coming after the Terrifier series is over. Because I'm very interested in what Leone will do next after he breaks out of the Terrifier mold. That being said, any of these here were amazing choices for Halloween, especially if you haven't got your quota of like gore and still good film. Because here's the thing, anybody, well, not anybody, but you can go out there and put a film together with a bunch of gore and splashes and stuff like that. The thing that makes a lot of these kind of stand out, the thing that made Terrifier 3 stand out, the thing that makes Brian Yuzna's films that I just showed you stand out, is there's a lot of heart and hard work and sacrifice and wonderful stuff behind it. Hopefully you enjoy this. I do like Brian Yuzna's work, and I've seen so much talk about Terrifier recently that I thought, let's go back, let's go a bit old school and look at some wonderful kind of like gore titles that really are a lot of fun. Look at a director that does remind me. And this, can you imagine? So Damien Leone's first was the Terrifier films. Brian Yuzna's first directorial film was Society. If you have not seen Society, go see that now. My name is Aaron. I want to thank you so much for joining me here today. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Comment down below on your favorite Brian Yuzna film and maybe a director that you think should be highlighted in the future. A horror director, maybe somebody that does the creepy stuff, does a bit of the gore stuff for people that are jonesing after going to see Terrifier 3 and that need that extra fix until Terrifier 4 comes out. I love to hear your comments and down below. If you want to be extra super cool, you can actually join my Patreon and help support and keep these videos going because I have some amazing patrons there. We have some incredible stuff, including a video magazine that comes out every month. I also have a channel membership option as well if you're not cool with the Patreon thing. Either way, I hope you have a wonderful day there. Enjoy your spooky season, and I will see you next time right here in the Call to Cinema. What are you watching? What are you at? I'll see you soon.
Oh God. Subscription sloth here. Just want to remind you that I know in the summertime especially it can be super warm and lazy. But if you're liking this video, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. And if you want to go that step further and join the Patreon, there's a link for that down below. You can super sticker, super chat, or donate. But above all, just lie back and enjoy the video because that's what I'm going to do.